In this video, I'm going to tell you what features I look for when I go to buy a lawnmower, whether I'm buying a new lawnmower or a used lawnmower. Let's get started right now. You're going to be able to hold on that heel, and it's just honestly is safer in those situations. But when the grass gets thick, it will cost you. So run out and buy some 60-inch mower just to cut 1 or 2 yards with. Something that's going to be able to power through the grass. Lawnmower companies do wonders in making the mowers give a great cut. Going to start bogging down. You're going to have to cut slower. 96-inch lawnmower here would be great, you know, but the problem is it's a little over $50,000. So then just understand that is a little bit of a risk. All right, we got a lot of traffic out here, so you're going to hear some road noise, but I want to show you some of these lawnmowers that are available here, and we're going to talk about, you know, what am I looking for as a lawn care professional in a lawnmower. You see over here we got a stand-on mower. Of course, these are more homeowner garden tractors. You got some zero turns over here. Over there is the graveyard where all the broke down lawnmowers come for repair. And then they've got the Exmarks over here. This is the Laser Z, 60-inch Laser Z. This is a Quest, and this is a Race. So we got several that we can look at and kind of talk to you about. And again, this would be applicable whether you're buying a new lawnmower or a used lawnmower. At least some of these things I'm going to go over with you. Now let me first say that I have had a lot of different zero-turn lawnmowers when I was mowing grass for a living, and I'm not one of those people that thinks that there's only one brand that you have to have. Now I've had Exmark, Toro, Scag, Walker, Ferris, Gravely, Hustler. I've had a lot of lawnmowers, and I've had good experience with most of them. So I really think, and this is great for you that are looking for a lawnmower, I really think there are a lot of good brands out there to choose from. Now there's a couple I'd probably stay away from, and I won't mention those on this video. But one of the first things you want to consider when you're choosing a lawnmower is the size mower that you need, the size cutting deck. So in my house, I've got about 4 acres, and the vast majority of it is grass. Okay, so I've got a 60-inch lawnmower. Now, I just went in there and looked at a 96-inch lawnmower. Let me just go ahead and show you like this. You know, this 96-inch lawnmower here would be great, you know, but the problem is it's a little over $50,000. So, you know, it would be great to have that to cut your acreage with, but for the budget, that's not going to be for a lot of people, and you're going to have to go with something like a 60-inch lawnmower, which is going to be maybe a fourth the price comparatively to that one. Now those will be great for rich people or people with municipalities or sports complex, things like that, where you're really needing to cut a lot of grass. You might get the 96 or even the 144-inch, which are very expensive lawnmowers. So if you've got large residential property, then I think a 60-inch mower is a great option for that. It can also work for your lawn care business to have a 60-inch lawnmower if you're doing mostly large properties. You've got to think of the downsides of having a 60-inch mower is it going to fit into the backyard gates? And so it may be a situation where if you have a 60-inch lawnmower where you say we're just going to take on larger properties and not worry about properties that have a small backyard. Or it may be a situation where you have a 60 and then you have another mower like a 36-inch walk behind or even a push mower that you could use to handle some of those small backyards. As a general rule of thumb, I think the bigger the cutting deck, the more likely it is to scalp. And so if you're in an area that has hills and things like that, then just understand that is a little bit of a risk. Lawnmower companies do wonders in making the mowers give a great cut. So it's not a huge factor, but it is something to consider. For me, when I was running a mowing business, I personally like the 48 or 52-inch. And if I had to choose to start up a mowing business, I probably would go with the 52-inch deck because, you know, obviously you're gonna have a little bit faster results with a 52-inch mower versus a 48-inch mower. And I didn't feel like that it was going to cost me that many backyard gates that I couldn't get in by using the 52-inch mower. In my opinion, those 48 and 52-inch mowers are just very, very versatile. They allow you to do the small properties, but they're also got enough size to them to where if you get a small commercial property or something even decent size, it's not going to take you all day. Where the 60-inch, you know, is awesome for what it's made for, but sometimes it's going to be a little bit tougher to work on those small yards. So the main thing you need to know is what type properties are you going to be maintaining. I tell people this all the time. I say, listen, in my opinion, it would be better to get one mower and have it set up for the property you're taking care of, and to say no to an additional customer, potential customer, that had a property that didn't fit that mower. What I mean by that is, let's say all you got's a 36-inch walk behind and you're doing 95% small yards, and that's a great mower. And then you get somebody who wants you to cut 3 acres. Just don't take it on, is what my advice would be, than to run out and buy some 60-inch mower just to cut 1 or 2 yards with. Now obviously, if you're a homeowner, got a little bit of yard, you can use a smaller mower. Got a big yard, need a bigger mower, definitely going to save you time. The other thing you want to consider when you're looking at the mowers is the type of engine that they're going to put on there. Now, I'm no small engine mechanic, but just from my own personal experience, I've had great experience with both Kawasaki and Kohler engines, and you can see that you see both brands here represented on these Exmark mowers. Now, I know enough about engines to know that not all of them are going to be the same, and the other thing you want to see is just what kind of power is the mower going to have, because I'll just say from my own experience again, when I'll be out there cutting a thick Bermuda grass lawn in the summertime, if you have an underpowered engine on the mower, then it's going to start bogging down. You're going to have to cut slower. So what I don't want is a 60-inch mower with like a 21 horsepower on it. To me, that's not enough. So with a 60-inch mower, I'm wanting 25, 27 horsepower, something that's going to be able to power through the grass. On a 52-inch mower, I think in the past I might have had like a 23 horsepower and be fine. But you get my point here, is that you don't want a large mower that's underpowered, because it's going to start bogging down when the grass is real thick. Now, hey, your grass, you're going to cut it every 3 days and you're just barely taking the tops off, and then just almost any of them will do. But when the grass gets thick, it will cost you. Same thing, if you're going to put a mulching kit on there, it's going to keep more clippings under the deck. Can be a great option, but it's going to require more power or it's going to bog down again. Now, speaking of the mulching kit, you can see here they come standard with just side discharge, but a mulching kit is basically going to be a plate that's going to fit across here, and then it's also going to have baffles under there, and what it does is it keeps the clippings under the deck to mulch them up, give you less clippings, less noticeable debris to clean up after you get finished mowing. What I prefer, even over a mulch kit or a side discharge, is a chute blocker. I like a chute blocker. I've got one on my mower. It's an advanced chute system. And so what it does, it has a metal plate here, but it has a handle on it where I can flip it up in side discharge, or I can close it and keep the clippings underneath there. So I think it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. It doesn't mulch as good as a mulch kit, but it gives you that ability to side discharge when you're out in the open. Most lawnmower manufacturers that are making these zero-turn mowers have several different mowers in their lineup. They might have an entry-level residential mower, then they may have a higher-up residential mower, then they may have like a low-end commercial, their standard commercial, and then kind of like their nicest one. Now, they may have more than that, but I think a lot of them are going to have at least 5 different levels of mower. And you might even on the lowest one be able to get a 48, 52, 60-inch deck, things like that, with different engine options. So what's the difference when it comes to those mowers? Well, again, not being an engineer who designed them, but having talked to some of the engineers, a lot of times if you'll look at this, the Laser Z, which is going to be kind of Exmark's standard bearer as far as the one that they're standard zero-turn mower, and even within the Laser Z, there's going to be different levels. Sometimes they'll have like an E series, a S series, a X series, the X being the best, the S being the middle, and the E being the lower end. So you can see this here. This is the Laser Z S series. So you can see here, with this being the sure enough commercial grade mower and this more of a homeowner version, you're going to get a lot bigger tires. You can see the commercial mower versus the residential mower. You're also going to probably have a stronger hydraulic system. Now, where that comes into play, if you're just mowing flat yards, it's probably not going to make that big of a difference. But I know just from riding a lot of different mowers, if you get on a little bit of an incline, some of the mowers are not able to hold a hill very well, and they start sliding, where a more powerful hydraulic system is going to be able to hold on that heel, and it's just honestly is safer in those situations as well. Now, this Laser Z here has got, you see here, it's actually a rear discharge, so I'm sure that's some engineering design that's supposed to reduce the amount of clippings that they have on this particular mower. Other features you might want to look for when you get a mower, I personally like flat free tires on them, especially these front tires. If they make these solid, then that's a bonus in my opinion. I wish they'd just do that on all of them. Other thing you can see probably as you look at these seats, and I know if you sit on them, you're going to be able to really tell a difference, but this is going to be a significantly more comfortable seat than this seat. I'm sure this is a fine seat, but again, if you're out there riding around on these mowers all day, every day for your business, you might want to go ahead and upgrade the seat and get one that has a nicer seat on it. The Radius would be what I would call their low-end commercial mower, but these are great mowers. So I mean, I think these are awesome options to get, and again, all these other manufacturers are going to have one that's kind of in this same lineup. They're going to have kind of a low-end commercial mower, but these Radiuses are great, can be very effective. Again, probably not going to be quite as powerful as the Laser Z, but they're going to come with a cheaper price tag. Other thing you want to consider is dealer support. You know, if you buy a used mower, do you have a dealer close by? I mean, yes, you can sometimes order parts online if you can find the part, but if you have a dealer that's reputable, that's going to take care of you, that does come in handy from time to time when you need a repair or a part. Not all dealers are created equal. Some are great, some are not so great. I'm thankful for the dealership that I'm at here, Argo Power Equipment. They've always taken good care of me. The other thing you might want to consider if you're buying new is what type of warranty are you going to get on this particular machine, because you know, things do happen. I've had to use a warranty on some of the mowers that I've bought in the past, which is great. And if you're buying a used mower, I typically like to look for one that's got really low hours. I'm okay if it's several years old. I remember the first mower I bought was a 2003 Hustler Mini Z. Is a 44-inch mower, but it was several years old, but it only had maybe a little over 200 hours on it at the time that I bought the mower, and it was a great mower for me. So if you're very mechanical and know how to fix things, then maybe you're okay getting one with a little higher hours on it. But if you're like me and you don't like working on things, you need that thing to be dependable, then I'm gonna get one that's got less than 500 hours and hopefully down there around 200 or even less hours than that. And I think the final thing I want to mention in this video is, of course, the price. Again, I can use this as an example. The Radius is gonna cut grass and do a great job. The Laser Z is gonna cut grass and do a great job. Is this one more powerful? Yes, but you gotta decide, do I want to pay several more $1,000s for the Laser Z or the Radius? And I don't know your situation, but I know these are both going to be great mowers. Now, if I was starting a lawn business, personally, I would not get the homeowner grade mower. I would go ahead and at least try to get the Radius. And again, I'm using the Exmark lineup as an example. They're all going to have similar type mowers to these levels. But I'm going to at least try to get that low-end commercial one as a starting point. Even if I have to get a used one, I would rather have a used commercial mower, in my opinion, than a brand new residential model. And that's I would probably feel that way if I was just mowing my own lawn, but certainly would feel that way if I was out mowing for a living. Of course, the garden tractors have their place and all that, but once you ride on zero-turn mowers, you're probably not going to be near as interested in using one of these. I did forget to mention the difference in the stand-ons versus wall behind versus ride-on zero-turn mower. So you can see this is a stand-on mower. Again, a lot of companies are making these. The standards are really great if you're trying to fit multiple mowers on a trailer. It's easy to fit 2 of these on a 12-foot trailer, at least I think it is, where you may have a difficulty fitting 2 more traditional zero-turn mowers on a 12-foot trailer. The wall behinds are great if you're looking for a lower price point, and also excellent on hills. So the standards are improving on hills, but in my opinion, they're sort of comparable to the sit-down zero-turn mowers, where the wall behinds are definitely the option if you're looking at really hilly properties. These mowers are great if you don't mind standing up all day. A lot of people even think that it's more comfortable to stand all day, but it's also very easy to be hopping on and off. So I like the stand-on mowers. I like the ones that you ride on. If I was personally starting a mowing business today, I probably would go get a stand-on mower, just mowing a lot of small yards. On a big yard, I might prefer to sit down, but that becomes somewhat a personal preference. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Hopefully it's helpful for you. Leave a comment below. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. If you need resources to start your lawn care business, go over to lawncarelife.com. I've got some resources for you available there. Subscribe if you haven't done so. We'll see you guys in the next video.